I put World Cup winning, Ballon d'Or winning captain on his ass. Steven Gerrard gets in the lift. As we go down, he goes, would you come to Liverpool? And I remember Damien saying to me, mate, I'd much rather play with you than Didier Drogba.
Dembele, how good is he?
Very, very special. There was punch-ups. There was CS Gaspy, coming out cars. There was...
Today's guest, I won't even lie. See, now his journey, he went from the EFL to make the Premier League his home. My kind of striker, fast, strong, technically gifted, and a wand of a left foot. And I ain't gonna lie, if we ever played together, it would have been a long, long day for defenders. He also made a couple England caps, so the respect level for me to him is on a high level. Please give a beast mode welcome to my guy, Mr. Bobby Zamora. How you doing, brother? Big up, big up, big up, big up. Yeah. All right, cool. So listen, on a Beast Mode podcast, what we do is we like to give flowers because this podcast is all about respect and giving flowers. So see, when you wasn't scoring goals, hitting the back of the net, I know you was about that fishing life, using that net. So what we did out here is only right that us at the Beast Mode podcast gifted you with, this is yours out here. Like,
nice, brother.
Right,
Thank you very much.
Out here, we catch the rest. So whenever you're fishing, you catch one of them big boy,
Listen, the things I'm going for, to be honest, mate, ain't getting inside of that.
Cool. All right,
I appreciate the love.
It starts, because that's, to be fair, I did my first fishing a couple of weeks ago, and I caught a couple. I'm not even going to say what it was. Like, nice. I want to say it was corp, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, real talk though. Blessings on blessings.
Thank
all
you.
Right, so let's get into this. So I don't even know if you know this connection, right? This connection, Senrab. Let's start at Senrab, the infamous Senrab. So I played for Senrab. Would have been, the worst thing is I didn't know. Let the people know about Senrab, this Sunday league, how infamous the players were at Senrab.
My team alone was John Terry, Ledley King, J. Lloyd Samuels, Paul Konchesky, Kemi, is it?
Yeah,
you know Kemi?
Yeah.
I think there was like 9 boys that went on to make it as professionals from that one Sunday side, all varying levels. And 5 of us managed to play for England, which is mental, from one Sunday side, you know. Unfortunately, we never played all together in the same side, which would have been crazy. But 5 of us to make it to that level was very, very special.
What you don't know is I was the year younger than yours. So I think your manager was Paul, is that correct?
Yeah, Paul Rolls, yeah.
Paul Rolls was your manager. My manager was Steve Williams. And I just remember, Steve was like the year above. You lot was beating teams 21-0, 16-0. I think J. Lloyd Samuels was a striker at that time. And I just remember hearing Senrab, this is what we got to kind of emulate. And as kids, you're just playing. Do you know what I'm saying? And I remember as I got older, it was like, yeah, man, JT, Ledley King, Zamora. I was there, man. I was seeing you, man. I was trying to emulate. Didn't get to where you got to, but yeah, man. So that was our connection, the Senrab.
Didn't know that.
So how early in your career was that moment where it was the change? So where you're like, okay, you know what? Now there's levels to this. So you've gone through, and I think one thing that I was really intrigued about this conversation is you did the process that I did. I just didn't meet the pinnacle of staying there. So I kind of understand the process onto the pinnacle, which we'll get to. But where did you hit that moment of, okay, like there's levels to this?
Do you know what? Like, youth team, I didn't smash the place to pieces. I wasn't, wow, this guy's special. Not at all. I went on loan to Bath, scored goals. Went on loan to Brighton, professional football, like professional Division 2 at the time, and scored goals. And do you know what? I don't ever remember thinking, oh, it's a big step for me now. This is it literally just came natural. Like the ball would just drop and I'd score. And you know, as a striker, if you're in that vein of form, you can shoot from anywhere. And some of the goals that I scored, I was like, actually, man, I don't even do that. Like, there's a volley for Brighton against Halifax. The ball comes over my shoulder. It's like Van Basten, left foot, bang, straight across. Like I don't know where that come from. I mean, obviously, I know I could score goals, but just to have the confidence to do those things in professional games still at 19,
so just
18, 19.
You as a character-wise, so are you not really phased in how things happen? Do you just feel like it's part of the process? Because like you're saying, you're like, all right, brother, I hit a volley and I look back at it now thinking, wait, what the hell? But at the time, it was like, listen, it was part of the process. I was there and I did it and I'll move on. Is that your character-wise?
Yeah, I'm not a thinker. I'm not really a worrier about any of that. Everything just comes. Everything just happens. And and there was never a part. And I never got nervous before games. In fact, there's a couple of occasions where I remember thinking, "Why the hell am I nervous?" Like, and I'm talking about FA Cup games against Aldershot.
Okay.
Like, I'm thinking, why am I feeling a little bit nervous? Whereas I remember picking the ball up, walking to take a penalty in the FA Cup final, putting the ball down, and not having no nerves at all. Like,
so was that? So touch on that. So when you're saying that, was that when you was established that you then got nervous, or what? When did the nerves? When did you have that? When you questioned, "But why am I nervous?"
I was at Brighton that game, that FA Cup game against Aldershot. I remember it like it is only a couple of occasions in my footballing career that I've been nervous, and that was probably the first one. I remember thinking, "What the hell? Why have I got butterflies?" Went out there, scored, and we smashed them. But but yeah, just I don't know, just my character myself. I don't get fazed too much about it. I don't overthink it. I don't get that nervous on anything really football related.
Yeah. So you moved from League Two to the Championship, right? So
we went Division 2 champions, League 1 champions back to back, and then up to the Championship. Which
this
is
with Brighton, right?
With Brighton, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So we had different managers. Mickey Adams signed me. Then I had Peter Taylor. And then I had Steve Coppell. So 3 different managers in those 3 seasons, all bringing different things to me as a player, learning from those guys.
Which got the best out of you? Out of them 3 managers?
Out of those 3, genuinely really hard to say, because they all brought different elements. Like Mickey Adams was, I suppose, like a little bit of small man syndrome,
Right.
angry. Right. If you don't win today at half time, well, like we had Scunthorpe away. If you don't win today, I'm telling you, you're running tomorrow. Like that sort of attitude. Shit, everybody better roll their sleeves up and get it done. Peter Taylor came in, played sort of 3 at the back, total football. He was the England under 21 manager, England manager, and now, with us. Like, so the guy was technically really, really good. Loved the way that he played. And Steve Coppell was organised, regimented, but also gave freedom as well. So every single one of them had a different style of play that I sort of thrived on under all of them.
So I've done exactly that. Like I said, League 2, League 1 champ. So, of course, I did my champ right at the end. So I was able to take the whole picture. What was for you? Because I know for me, I remember in the champ, and I know we are this side now, and I think the champ's gotten way better. Do you know what I'm saying? But I just remember the champ being super quick and so much more clinical. So, and there was always different levels. So League 2, I felt like I didn't have to be 100%, League 1, and so on and so on. So your process from when you was in League 2 scoring goals, League 1 scoring goals, champ scoring goals, at this point, to you, what was the difference?
No difference in any of those.
Okay.
None of those divisions. Not really. Championship, probably defenders a little bit sharper, a little bit better, but not drastically. I think my movement, my understanding of the game and connections that I had would always create chances. The Premier League is that next level, and that's where the difference is, I think. But I also think if you're in the right side, in the right team, but that's in any division, if you're in the right team with the right players around you, like, I genuinely think, like, big, strong, physical striker, I'm telling you, if you played in Man City's side, 35 games, I don't care if you're Van Dijk or whoever, don't want to come up against you.
I feel you.
No, genuinely, don't want to come up against you. And I think if you're in that Man City, just out of interest, if they could just really put you in there for one season when you're at your prime and go, right, 35 games, we're going to play our football. Listen, big fella, be in the box, be in the 8-yard box, don't do nothing. Don't do anything, just stay in the box, because us 10 can beat any other team. I'd love to see how many goals you get. You might not get your 40 goal of Haaland, but I reckon you get enough to be able to go, do you know what? If I was in Burnley's side, I ain't getting 15 goals.
100. Listen, I always look at it like that. I think if you play around better players and then you just have to concentrate on what you bring, because you've got to bring something. And I do think, well, you can't run, but if you know how to be in the box and you're stronger than everybody and they can get it to you, in my mind, I'm like, of course. So, and I know that for me, I look back at it, and because I never got to the Premier League, I do look at those strikers who play for teams who ain't as strong as the top 6 teams and give the top 6 teams problems. I always salute that, because you have to do more than the teams that got better players. We know that as footballers. So I hear what you're saying. So where did that? So now you're in the champ, the Prem move comes. So talk us through the Prem move.
Yeah, so I go from Brighton to Tottenham. So Glenn Hoddle and Chris Hughton, I remember being at Brighton in the Championship and those guys coming down and watching it. Small stadium at the Withdean it was. You could tell everybody was in the house, you know. So I would know who was there. David Moyes as well from Everton used to come down as well and watch quite a bit. I believe they bid, Cardiff bid, and Spurs bid as well. And I remember thinking, wow, you know what I mean? Like,
you're 22 at this time.
I'm 21, yeah. So Spurs come in for me, and it's Steve Coppell, I remember, as the manager. Listen, if anyone ever comes in, mate, any Prem side to come in, I'm never going to stand in your way. That is it. Just keep doing what you're doing, and I'll never stand in your way. And they came in, and I was like, all right, Spurs, fantastic. Back home, London, fantastic, amazing.
Who was at the Spurs time? So who was in the Spurs squad at that time when you've gone? So who was
striker-wise?
Yeah, striker-wise.
Robbie Keane.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Gus Poyet was a 10 as such. Freddie Canute, class. And we signed Helder Postiga, who was the Portuguese equivalent of me in terms of play for the under-21s, same age. They paid 10 million euros for him, and they paid £1 million for me. So in my mind, when I was there, I was like, fantastic. This guy's got to be 10 times better than me. Yeah. If I score 1 goal, you got to score 10. That's how I saw it in my mind. Genuinely did. I was like, all right, cool. This guy, let me see what you've got.
Yeah.
The Portuguese style against me. So listen, they paid a lot of money for him. He played a lot more games than me, which is fine, but didn't score 10 times more goals than me. Yeah, so in my mind, I was like, okay, fine, not a problem. Glenn Hoddle signed me, and ultimately he ended up leaving in the January or just before. So I saw the frustration in myself not being able to play all of those games, and the opportunity came to go to West Ham. You know, from my side, the team that I supported. Again, London side, didn't have to move. It was just amazing. But for me, at Spurs was an amazing learning curve. Like Stephen Carr, Christian Ziege, and Jamie Redknapp, Ledley King, obviously one of my pals. Robbie Keane was incredible. Just those faces, those names, Darren Anderson, those guys, and knowing that this is the Premier League level and training with those guys was class, was amazing, and a great learning curve for me.
So that's what I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you a couple things. So going into that change room, you listed off the names. So there's old school G's, Anderton, Redknapp, Poyet. What is it? Are you, I'm not saying starstruck, but you're aware of these names. So are you very much on, as quick as possible, I'm going to show that I belong? Or are you very much, the process is the process? What are you when you go into a change room, and what would you like from that jump? Now it's the Prem. It's that level that you haven't been at, and it's Tottenham. What's the mindset? What's Bobby Z's mindset there?
Like I said, I had a little bit of a cushion because I had held a Postiga of, right, this guy's 10 times better than me, apparently.
Yeah.
So let's see. I knew he was going to start games because of the price tag, certainly at the start of the season. So for me, there was a little bit more of a buffer, but I was always confident in my ability. I played under 21, so I knew the guys literally those guys are all in the Prem. Firstly, Robbie Keane, Jamie, Darren, all the English boys, all the British boys, they made me feel at home. Ledley, I grew up with, so going into that change room was very, very easy. And yeah, footballing wise, knowing after the first 2-3 sessions, okay, I'm all right here. I'm not out of my depth at all. Ball comes down, can you finish it? Can you score past the Premier League? Goalkeeper? Yeah, fine. Okay. So, like I said, for me, it was nice. There was no real pressure on me. Although I was there, I'd never thought to myself, I'm going there, I have to score a load of goals. I'm that young guy. And like I said, there's a few guys ahead of me, a bit more experience. And I had the guy from Portugal that was...
Question, you was under 21s in the champ, right?
Yeah, I was in, actually, Peter Taylor. I went in League One, actually. Peter Taylor was obviously under 21.
So let them know, but League One is under 20.
Yeah. So it was a little bit different. But Peter, obviously, like I say, he'd been under 21 manager. He'd been senior manager. So listen, I owe a lot to him that he would pick up the phone to the guys at England and say, by the way, the guy's got a bit. All right, he's scoring goals in League One, but I think genuinely, from my point of view, he can do it. So come and take a serious look at him. Yeah. Put me in some squads, ended up going to the European Championships, etc. Blah blah blah. Playing with all of those guys, Jermaine and Crouchy and all of that. So that was nice. That was nice that PT was there and helped me and give me that little nudge, which obviously raises your stock when you're looking to get a move to the Prem. But that Prem move didn't come till the season after, which was fine.
So when you're training at Brighton, and I'm actually just really intrigued into your mindset. So you're at England and all them man at the Prem. So when you go over there, like they're at Prem clubs, you're 21, you're there, you're like, nah, man, like, brother, I've got to be around this. I've got to be around the Prem environment.
I don't think
You didn't feel like that. You don't feel like that.
I just felt my journey was. I mean, I was going on a Saturday. I was scoring a goal on a Saturday.
Right.
I was going on a Saturday. I was scoring 2 goals on a Saturday. It was just amazing journey. The changing room, everybody that was at Brighton, just pure love for everyone there. Genuinely, the squad was amazing. You know what it's like, lower league football. The change rooms is
man,
what
it's wicked. Yeah.
What it's all about.
It's pure.
So there was no. I wasn't desperate to get out of there. I wasn't desperate to. I was scoring goals. I was happy. Didn't care about money. Didn't care about nothing like that really. So the journey was the journey. I loved being in the under-21s, and I knew my time would come. So I was happy to embrace it. I wanted to help the club Brighton progress, and if that meant maybe at the end of the season, maybe at the end of the season, then okay. But I was still scoring goals. I was still very happy. So I was in no rush to get anywhere.
So when you was at Tottenham, so that season at Tottenham when you played, who stands out now that you was like, defender-wise, just like, oh, okay, like, yeah, man, at Tottenham? Because I know West Ham was a bit different, and we'll go on to West Ham from there. But when you was at Tottenham, that's like your first in the Prem. Who was like, you're like, all right, cool.
Well, I think I only played 6 games for Spurs in that half a season. I ended up going in January.
Okay.
So came on against Chelsea, who were very good, and Arsenal as well, which were very good. I think that was Sol Campbell, and I can't remember who this other centre-half was. But I just remember Chelsea and Arsenal, like big games, big London derbies. Those were the games that stood out for me in terms of the atmosphere and this means something, and the tackles flying in. And I remember Jamie Redknapp and those guys like we need to smash a couple of people. Certainly that North London derby. I suppose Arsenal had a very good side. So.
How was that? Yeah, how was that? So talk to me about that, because I've been in derbies. What for you? What was that? What can you remember of that? So the Arsenal Tottenham
at Highbury.
At Highbury
as well. Yeah, Highbury. Yeah.
Oh, they are a good team.
Yeah, I just remember that intensity. That this is a derby. This is a big derby. You know. So I played in games and big games or whatever. This was the first real big derby, and I remember the tension, and I remember tackles. Those are the things that I remember. And listen, I wasn't a big tackler. I wasn't, but in my head, I remember if I not hurt someone, but if I put a challenge in, it's a point.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a point. So, although I didn't play long in those games, both of those games, it was one part of the game that I didn't normally pay attention to, but it was something that stood out. Big London derbies are special.
Cool. So then how did West Ham? So now how did West Ham come about? And for you, was that full circle moment? And listen, of course, playing for a team you support, I can only imagine if I ever got, the closest I did was I played against Liverpool, and I thought that was special, let alone playing for the team you support. So how did that come about in that? And then did you just like, oh shit, this was meant to be?
Yeah, I remember January transfer window at home in my apartment, and the phone goes at like 7 o'clock in the evening, I think. And it's like, right. My agent says, look, West Ham want you. They want Jermaine Defoe, and the deal's been done, but you have to go to West Ham. Are you okay with that? So I was in a good space. I was like, I could have gone no and squashed the deal completely.
Yeah.
But I was like, do you know what? I'm not playing here. I spoke to the manager. You're going to get some games. You're going to get some minutes. And it's your team. Want to get back in the Premier League. They were in the Championship. I was in the Prem. Actually, Leeds were on the phone the same evening as well. Leeds were in the Prem.
Okay.
But I was like, do you know what? West Ham at home, like still down south. And I get a chance to see if I can get them in the Premier League. Michael Carrick's there, some good players there, you know. So I was like, yeah, that's where I want to go. I want to go there. I want to get my team in the Premier League again. That's what I thought that evening. And the deal got done. The deal got done. It was relatively quick, relatively simple. first game away, I remember, was Bradford away in the Championship, and yeah, it was special, you know, putting on that West Ham shirt, and ended up actually scored. I think I scored the winner in that game. Anyway, I scored in it. We won, which was a buzz. And then your first game at home at Upton Park with that shirt on, walking out. I mean, I've been there as a kid to I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, and I remember like the feeling, like hairs on the back of my neck, walking out, and I remember singing along, you know, like not really paying attention that I should be warming up, but like literally at the tunnel. I started that game, tunnel out, singing I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, was mad, crazy. So yeah, that was a very special day.
You know what I'd get from
that was 1-0 Zamora, by the way, as well, final score.
Saying, oh, come on now, let them know, keep flexing on them. It's all about flowers. But you know what I get from you already up until now, that your love for football was more than anything. So you wanted to play football. This is what I'm getting up until this. It's like you've now got to the Premier League, and you know, well, I'm not balling. So what's the point of being in the Premier League if I'm not balling? And then West Ham come, and I know it's in regards to, but then there was still Leeds. But West Ham comes, you're like, listen, you're going to go play. It just seems like your first priority was to kind of play football. So was there anything in regards to, oh, I'm dropping down? Or like I said, from what I get, it was, well, I just want to go and play ball. And I know I'm good enough to facilitate, help to get this team promoted.
100% that. Just, listen, I wanted to play for them, wanted to score goals, the challenge was, can I get my team back in the Premier League? Okay, fantastic. Let's give that one a go. And yeah, it was just, we didn't go up automatically that season. I'll come in January, we didn't go up. We lost that in the final to Crystal Palace. But the second season, we ended up going up in the playoffs again, and scored the winner.
Then you scored that, but I should, yeah.
Scored a winner in that one.
Yeah, how was that? So touch on that, how was that? Because I want to say, what, again, you know, I also scored to get promoted at Wembley as well. Come on, you know what we do. So what's that feeling like? Because that's still my best. That, I mean, you've gone on to do others. Just quantify that. You know, the team you support missed out in the first season, get back there. Tell me that. Where does that kind of rank for you?
That was a special one, and also the reason being, when you're at a club, and that was my second season, I suppose, and they'd come down from the Premier League. Obviously, the money's sort of disappearing. It's almost their last chance. Not their last chance, but you know that there were members of staff in there, whether it's the Shirley in the kitchen, there's, you know what I mean, Pete the kit man, all of those guys, and their team around them, they're getting cut if you don't win that game. So there was that element as well. You know that you are affecting so many people with the result of this game. So when you win, the joy is very, very special. Obviously, you've got the West Ham fans, but it's also that close circle that you're in and around. You know what it's like, training ground, everybody that's in and around there. It's family, right? So
just touch on how, when people say it's a family and you see them every day, just how important that is when you're celebrating. You hug them, and it's big, it's joy, like it's family.
To be honest, you've just covered it all. It really is, because all of those people that you see in every single day, you probably see them more than your family, your actual family, you know, because you're in there for so many hours, and they do so much for you.
Yeah,
they genuinely do. The kit man, the abuse that they get, the fun they get ripped to pieces, don't they? Do you know what I mean? You know what it's like. And the chefs, what's this shit again, chef? Do you know what I mean? Every single day they're getting battered by 25 players. This is rubbish. You know what I mean? Like every single day.
Yeah.
But it's all said in jest, and it's just the training ground, the banter, and the love. That's my love anyway. You know what I mean? Trying to rip the piss out of you. If I don't rip the piss out of you, you don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, I've got to talk about it. 2006 FA Cup final was that. Like, this iconic 91st minute. Like, what's your take on that? I ain't gonna lie. I can remember it. I was jumping up and down, Liverpool supporter, when Stevie G, that. What's your take on it? Because it's iconic.
Yeah, it's the Stevie G final, obviously. And he is an absolute hero, and he's an amazing player.
So did you think, before Stevie G did that, did you think you had won it?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm on the pitch, I'm stood behind Stevie G when he takes the shot. Like, the throw-in, Lionel Scaloni is actually Argentina manager now, won the World Cup, and he Lionel takes the throw-in, and instead of sort of throwing it up the line, he sort of goes inside, and it goes past, I think, Nigel Reo-Coker or someone, and it drops to Stevie. And I'm stood behind him, and it bounces, and then he takes that shot, and I remember seeing it go, and I said, "Oh no!" Bam, in, and that's not even the winner. That's to draw the game.
To draw the game.
That's to draw the game, So, I mean, Lionel, I remember after the game, obviously it goes to penalties, and we go through that whole process. I remember Lionel after the game just like crying
Devastated
from that moment till I never see him again. He was just crying, Yeah. So it was. I think he felt it was his fault. Obviously, so much has to happen for that. And Stevie, yes, has to be a worldie for it to happen. But yeah, it's part and parcel of football.
So at that time, did you know that he could go on and become this man? But the man finished it before. Man asked it before I even finished. So he gone on and been a World Cup manager. So was there any inkling in that?
No. Not at all. Not at all. To be fair, he could hardly speak English. He'd come on loan, I think from Real Betis. Great guy. Lovely chap. Hard-working. Listen, Argentinian defender. You know what he's all about. He's going to foul, pull, pinch, buy time. You know what I mean? Just class. Just all of that. But no, would never have said he's going to go on. But that's the journey that he took. And I think so many of those, they had that desire, that hunger, that aggression, really, the aggression. And I think as a manager, you need that, like, fire and aggression.
Yeah. No, I get that. What's your standout moment at West Ham? So that's the team you support. What is when you look back at it and be like, but if I can just bottle up that moment, like, what's that?
The final, scoring the winner there, getting my team into the Premier League. But then obviously when you're in the Premier League, it's playing and scoring goals in that league. Best game, atmosphere, Highbury again, Arsenal. My West Ham side was the last team to win at Highbury. I mean, they were crazy side. So
what's that? Because Arsenal at Highbury, it's just problems. At my era, we know. What's that Arsenal team? What's it? Just not the standout players.
Petit, Vieira, Pires, Lundberg, Henry. I think Bergkamp played that game as well. Sol Campbell. I think Lauren.
Yeah, it's cool. You could, to be fair, you mention everybody. We do it.
Yeah, some big names.
So, what do you remember that game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Arsenal, huge side and just an absolute machine of a team. Big side as well.
How good was that Arsenal team?
Yeah, very special. Very special. Like I say, I had a sampling of it a couple of seasons before with Spurs, and they were very good, very big, physical. And that Arsenal game, we just gone up. We just had a good start to the season, and evening game at Highbury. Not expecting too much, and I remember all the boys as well. Well, you're going to get smashed up by Campbell. You're going to get beaten up by Sol Campbell, by the way.
Right.
And so that was in my head, but I played the game, played well. I scored. I gave Sol one, ended up on the floor, left foot, bent it top corner.
That the celebration, and wasn't that the bicep celebration?
That was actually. Obviously, like I said, the boys touched on, you're going to get eaten up by Sol. He's a beast. He's going to be bishing you. So my celebration was anger at that time. And I was saying a few things as well, which actually a few people could sort of lip read on the TV, which was tell Sol to get off me. Like, I think it was along those lines. But listen, I mean, that was the boys bantering the life out of me on the coach to, hold up a minute, check your levels, boys.
Yeah.
Zamo's here. But that was amazing. Again, like, for me to score at Highbury and beat that side was incredible. So that was a very special moment for my time at West Ham.
So the boys bantering you, did you think toe-to-toe, one-on-one, up against a defender, but if you turn up, it's a long day? Because like we said, so Sol's known, they put Sol out there as one of the, real strong, but he is, we know. But my mentality would be is, but anybody out there, we're going, I'm telling you, I'll pin and spin you. I may not be able to run past you, may not 9 times out of 10 be able to beat you in the air, but to pin and spin you, like, was that your mentality?
Do you know what? Funnily enough, that wasn't even my forte, or that wasn't even one of my real elements of the game then, to be honest. like strength. I don't think I was still going off of my younger days of movement, understanding, go short, spin long, all those little elements. The run actually probably gets me the opportunity. Paul Konchesky plays a diagonal, but I'm in and out, and then the diag comes. So I'm still going off of that part in that stage of my career. My game has changed over my career as I've learned more and I've experienced more, and as my body's changed as well. So I've been able to adapt for all, a bit of a chameleon, I suppose, just adapt and change to my surroundings and my environment.
So let me ask, Brighton, main man. Tottenham, to be fair, you knew you wasn't going to ball. West Ham in the champ, main man?
Not main man. I think we just had a good, Marlon Harewood was there, myself was there, Teddy Sheringham was there, David Connolly was there. So different strikers with different strengths, yeah.
Okay.
And we rotated and we done quite well with that, to be honest. No, there was no out and out. Probably Marlon probably played the most games, to be honest, I would say. But we just rotated and we were a real good forward line.
Yeah. So now you're established at West Ham, scored goals, played, got to finals. Now, when did the murmurings where it's like, okay, boom, I may have to move on now? How did that come about?
That was mad. That was not many gutting moments in my career, but that was one.
Okay.
I remember, like, we had the Carlos Tevez and Mascherano signings, right?
Yeah.
Those guys came, and we didn't have a great season. We had a good side, but we didn't have a great season in the Premier League. So those back end of the seasons, those games, probably the last 10, I mean, we were down the bottom.
Yeah.
Really struggling.
So that's the season when Mascherano,
greatest game.
And when he scored against United, Sheffield United, I think, went down. Is that correct?
Yeah, that one, that whole drama, that whole season.
So you was all there in that.
I was there then. So I played through ball to Tevez, by the way.
Let me say, you played the through ball to Tevez.
Yeah. So yeah, I had a good understanding with Carlos, real good understanding. We played well together.
Did you know he would go on? Was he that good? Both of them. So they've gone on an elite. Did you know when you was training with them, man? Like, and did you not know the saga? What was going on? Like,
to be honest with you, I had no idea who they was when they came through the door in the first place. Soon get to know and understand. Listen, these guys are special. Obviously, I think they'd won the Olympics just before, because there was some banter in the change room about Mascherano, and he's like, he brought in his World Cup medal, I think he did, just for banter. Like, those two are completely different. So Tev in training, like, just bothered, like, just cash,
right.
Like, don't really try a leg. On a Saturday, run his socks off, man, like mad, crazy, hungry, aggressive, all of that. Mascherano, he technically unbelievable. Keep the ball, bam, 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 play at the back, play in centre midfield, whatever it is. A master.
Yeah.
He didn't play for us though. We had Hayden Mullins, who was like 7 out of 10 every single week. Like, understood it, blah, blah, blah. Mascherano played against Spurs, actually. I think a couple of appearances that he made, he played against Spurs. It's the one where I think Jermaine Defoe beat him in the game. But he didn't have a great game. And then that was almost him done. But literally, he would train hard, train like the ultimate pro, get off, get into the gym and run for 45 minutes because he knew he weren't playing. Like, top pro. Real good player. Obviously goes on to go and absolutely smash it at Liverpool and then Barca. Amazing player. And Tevez,
you know? So listen, as players, you play people and be like, boy, he's got something. Did you think at that time he'd go on to do something?
I thought they're very good players. The pair of them, very good players, very good. And it'd be interesting to see what route they go and what happens. Did I see them both doing what they've done? Maybe not, but doesn't surprise me. If that makes sense. Putting them in the right sides, putting them in the right team, and they fit.
Right environment, right
supercharged.
setting.
It's supercharged them for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that season wasn't great for us, and we go down to the last game of the season, and I'm struggling with my knee the last 7-8 games of the season.
Okay.
So I'm not training, but I'm just playing. And I remember, like, they'd signed Matty Upson. They'd spent a lot of money on a lot of boys. There was a lot of dough flying about, and I'd been there for a few years, didn't have crazy dough. And obviously the back end of the season, I'm talking about a new deal, potentially. And the chairman's, that Egert Magnusson, chairman would come down, hey, we need you fit for the weekend. Don't worry, boss, I'll be there. Don't worry. I'm not training, but I'm just resting. I'm doing my exercises, all that. I'll be there for the Saturday. Summer comes, we stay up. Obviously, last game of the season, Man United. Summer comes, yeah, we're going to get you a new deal. We sort it out. The 5-6 weeks or whatever it is. Talks are just dragging. Go in for the first week of pre-season.
So you got a year left, right?
I don't even know how long ago. I've got a couple of years left, maybe. But it's just like everybody else is up there. You done the job. You worked hard. Right, cool. Here's the reward, sort of thing. New owners. And I go in and the first week I'm training fine, fit as anything. I remember getting in early. I get in early every day, just like for the banter. I sit, have my breakfast. Everyone comes through the door, and I just rip them. You know what I mean?
Culture setter. It's needed. But
that's me. So I remember getting in early and getting that one. Oh, manager wants to talk to you. All right, cool, fine. Bowl into his office. Yeah, with
who's the manager?
Alan Kirbishley.
Okay.
Yeah, we've accepted an offer from Fulham. So if you want to go and have a chat with them today. I remember thinking, what? How can I be having a negotiation about getting a new contract, and yet you guys are? I remember that shocked me. I was thinking, nah, that can't be right. So I get out, I phone my agent. He's like, yeah, you're not going to be part of Kerb's plans going forward. I was like, wow, okay, all right, so fine.
And that's just black. That was just out of nowhere.
No idea whatsoever. And get the go ahead to go and see Roy, go over to Fulham, go over there that afternoon, speak to Roy, enjoy what he's got to say, and go, yeah, all right, if I'm not wanted there, fine, I'll prove myself somewhere else. So I didn't kick up a fuss, didn't know nothing, just like, all right, get myself, I'm gone, which was sad because I was really happy there, loved West Ham, and didn't want to leave really.
So now you're at Fulham. So talk to me about it was 2010, the Europa.
Yeah, the Europa League, but the first season that I get there, that first season with Roy Hodgson, was hard for me.
Why?
Was hard. Roy played 4-4-2, and his side were regimented. Like, I mean, we'd do the same drill over and over and over again. Like, just shape every single day. I kid you not, I could play left back in that side. I could play centre half in that side. Maybe not defensively amazing, but when we have the ball, right, this is where you're going to get the ball. Right. These are going to be your three options. Right. And when that ball goes there, then there's three options. Right. When that ball goes there, then there's three. I could have played in any of those positions on the ball.
So methodical.
So structured. Yeah. And what he wanted from the strikers was one of the boys to be on that centre midfielder, one of the boys to drop down and do that part, and that was my role. That was what he wanted me to do. So I would go and stand on Paul Scholes or go and screen the ball going into those centre midfielders. And as a striker, it's hard. It's hard.
Explain, because as soon as you said that, I knew it would have never been me.
Yes.
That would have lasted 17 minutes. They would have pulled me off.
Yeah. So it was me and Andrew Johnson. AJ signed as well. And AJ obviously short, sharp, loved those balls in behind, stretching defenders, stretching teams. And I didn't mind doing that role. I embraced it of like, okay, let me see if I can stop that ball. Like, maybe if I can nick it. If I can nick it even better, it's like a little point for me. But I soon realised that doing that takes away a lot from the top end of the pitch. Right. I could get the ball, I'd turn if I nicked it, or if I get in that hole and I could turn and I'd play AJ and I'd play through balls. Like I said, both feet, inside, outside, whatever. AJ would get chances from me and the work rate I was doing. But the goal tally for myself was low. Right. Not good. And the fans and everybody outside of the changing room, outside of looking in, he's only scored like 3 goals this season. Yeah. But every single player in that changing room was like, class today, mate. Unbelievable. You know the job that you've done, and it's appreciated in that circle. Outside of the circle, not so much. So I found that hard when I'd be playing on a Saturday, and from your own fans, getting a bit of abuse.
How'd you deal with that?
Abuse back, to be honest with you. They were frustrated. There were frustrating times because, like I said, every single game I come in, everyone's like, mate, class today, mate. Unbelievable. Assists. I had plenty of assists, but just not the goal tallies. And I remember being end of that season, even though I had accepted an offer from Hull, Hull were in the Prem that year, I went up to go and see him, and I come back down. I was like, nah, I'm not going there. And I went in to see Roy. I said, look, I'm not going in there. He's like, brilliant. Don't want you to leave, just so you know, I want you here. Start that second season, Andrew Johnson does his cruciate. He's out. I go to the top, and Zoltan Gira comes in that 10 spot defensively, and Zolly would work hard, great at finding a pass, and I just thrived in being that number one, hold the ball up, bring people into play. That's where my game sort of changed again, right? Okay, you're a target man now. You have to hold the ball up because you're single. You have to bring people into play. And the team just thrived. Regimented. Damien Duff had that understanding of when he was left-footed, playing on the right, and Simon Davis right-footed, playing on the left. So both of those, when they got into that final third, they had the ability to still go on the outside and cross, but they would both come inside and I'd be pinned on the edge of the box. And that ball comes in, set, bang, goal. And there was a stage of that season, I think I was, most chances created, you know what I mean? Like, I think it was me and then Frank Lampard or something at a certain stage of the season, like halfway through. So I was creating so many chances for the club and scoring goals. And that was that European run, that year of 2010, and we were just banging goals and scoring goals. And
before we just get onto that run, because I always think that, do you think nowadays you would get appreciated more?
Well, certainly on some of the stats, I'll be off the chart.
Right.
For sure. It might not be dribbles. Nah, I'm not even getting in the top 1%.
Yeah.
But if you chances create on the edge of the box, there ain't going to be many more.
Yeah.
Ain't going to be many better than me. So, yeah, definitely. The game is analysed and dissected into so many parts now, and no doubt my career and my years at Fulham, or the back end of my career, and that role that I like to play, yeah, there wouldn't be many better than me in what I did.
So now talk me for that run now. So talk me to Fulham, that run. I think along that way you beat some heavy hitters, like some proper heavy hitters. What's your memory about that run?
We started the season we come back early, and it was pre-season. It was pre-season games. Yeah. That's what the first rounds were. The first very, very knockout rounds. You are pre-season Latvia away or something. So that we thought, listen, we're in this Europa League. Let's just go and have a bit of fun. Are we gonna win it? No, listen, we're just going to have a little tour and enjoy the stages if we get there. Those first games, those qualifiers, yeah, fine. We just wiped the floor. Group stage, we had Roma in there for sure, which was, wow, we got Roma, nice, big, totty, awesome players. We go up against them, we do well. Yeah, we start beating sides, and we qualify to the next round. And then the next round, we've got, Shakhtar Donetsk. They had William, they had Fernandinho, they had Adriano. They had mad players in their side. And still to that day, that game at Craven Cottage, I don't think I've ever seen a team pop the ball as well as they did. They just it was like playing computer games.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All Brazilians, back four were Eastern Europeans.
Oh, so solid.
That's how they ran their side. Back four and goalkeeper, Eastern Europeans, Russians, Ukrainians, and then up front, midfield, just South Americans. Just South Americans.
Yeah.
So it was a mad mix. But that game, we won 2-1. Yes, I scored.
I already knew.
Banger. And yeah, it was like a shot. Okay, all right, fine. Get them second leg away. Oh, God, we got weather some storm again. We end up drawing out there, qualifying for the next round. So it was Ukraine like champs, and then we had Wolfsburg, who were the German champs at that time. They beat Bayern Munich to it. Then we get to Juventus, mate, at the Cottage on a Thursday night, and we got thumped 3-1 at their place, and they were like Del Piero, Trezeguet, Cannavaro.
Have you ever been not starstruck, but see, these are names you're reeling off. And listen, I know the Arsenals that you've played as a Prem, but these European man, them, Juventus, they've come true. Was you ever like?
Nah, never. I've never been starstruck. That's just my character. Like I say, there's so many things that you're expecting my emotions to be going like that.
Yeah.
They're not. They're always at a pretty even level, So No, it was like, for me, it was like, right, I'm up against World Cup winning captain Cannavaro. Oh, right, this is going to be class.
Did Cannavaro not win the? Ain't he the one that won the Ballon d'Or?
Yeah, he might have won the Ballon d'Or as well.
Say no, he's up against him.
Yeah.
Let him know that Ballon d'Or then.
Yeah, Ballon d'Or winner, World Cup winning captain, armband and everything. But yeah, to come up against him and test myself to see where I am, and that game at Craven Cottage, we go a goal down. I think they're like they're 3-1 up them after like 5 minutes, and it was like, nah, let's just see what we can do. We was a special side, organised, hard to beat, and yeah, it was a night that I'll never ever forget. Like, it was absolutely incredible. The fans were fully behind us, and to play against Juve, those great players, and come up with a great performance, you know, and for me to score against Cannavaro, and I'm not saying score against Cannavaro like he was in goal, but it's me up against him.
Yeah, you scored against him.
I put him on his ass.
Let him know
Ball
again.
comes over, bam. Wait there a second.
Stay there, chill.
Just check what that guy.
Yeah, I love that. But I said, like, go look at your Ballon d'Or medal, because I've got something to do.
I've got something to do. Bang it in, and off you go. So genuinely, that is like one of my highlights. I put World Cup winning, Ballon d'Or winning captain on his ass and bang one in. So look, and then I remember wanting extra time. We were drawing at with a couple of minutes to go, and we were all over. Like, they had a player sent off, but we were all over them. And you know, like, as a striker, I've got more goals.
I've got more goals.
I've got goals here.
Give me time.
Yeah, give me some more time.
Beast, the momentum.
And Clint Dempsey ruins it, to be honest. He goes with an unbelievable chip to keeper. Then he comes back on his right and just little dink, chips to keeper. I think it must have been 89th minute, something like that. The whole place erupts. Obviously, we're through. We're buzzing. But I do remember thinking, I'd have loved extra time. 30 extra minutes, I'd have definitely scored, because they were gone.
Yeah, they were gone.
I just wanted another goal. I just wanted one more goal against an amazing side. But listen, it was an amazing, incredible night, and Demps with an absolute worldie to cap it off. So,
to be fair, your time at Fulham, would you say that's the moment, that's the standout? Would you say that's your standout moment? Or
yeah,
not?
I think so. That season and was very, very special. Obviously losing in the final again against Atletico Madrid with they had Aguero, Forlan, you know, both of those guys, and that was in extra time, last couple of minutes. That's devastating. I wasn't on the pitch then; I'd come off injured, but devastated not to have won that. Really, I mean, the journey for us as a smaller English club would have been incredible.
I got asked, because everybody that I chat to and you see online, like Dembele, Mousa Dembele, like, how underrated, how good is he firsthand?
There's a few players that I think you get in your career, or you come across in your career, and you think, wow, like, just the ability to not get the ball off them, or people not get the ball off of them, is the standout thing. And for not somebody that's 6'4" and not completely stacked, like, he just had an ability of the ball coming into him, being able to roll and turn really, really well, but his legs and arse being able to just bounce people off, you know, and arms. One criticism I would probably say could probably have scored more goals, but everything else was very, very special. He didn't have that post goals, like, incredible, like, array of passing, but if you passed him a ball, you knew that it was not going to go anywhere. No, I'm in trouble here, bang, just give it to him. It doesn't matter if he's got 3 around him, because he will keep the ball or find a way out of it. So that's an amazing asset as a team, that you can just fire the ball into him anywhere and he will just keep it. And that's a strong part of the team. And Mousa played behind me sometimes as well, so almost in a 10 role. But obviously played centre midfield, and he could almost play anywhere. But I wonder, where he could have played in that side, because we had Dixon Atuhu and Danny Murphy in centre midfield. I think he played out wide a little bit in the 10, but he's a very, very special player, mate. Real special.
So he was the best player at Fulham that you played with, at that Fulham team. Who would you be like, you know what, he was just special?
Mousa would have come into that category. I was there 3.5 years, so Mousa was only in that last year for me. But I don't think we had a team. We didn't have a team. That was the thing about our team. We didn't have any standouts. We had a collective. We had Damien Duff on the right, who the understanding I had.
When you click with the players, special.
And I remember Damien saying to me, mate, I'd much rather play with you than Didier Drogba. And listen, that wasn't because I'm better than Drogba.
It's the
you have an understanding that if he got the ball and he made a certain movement, if he put the ball that far away from his toe, I knew what his next move would be. That's all he meant.
Yeah.
But
man, I get it. I understand it. There's connections that you get
on a level, and that is it. I had that with Duffer. We had Simon Davis. We had like Danny Murphy experience. He's not gonna tear everyone apart, but he could organise and deliver. We had Dixon Atuhu in centre midfield, who was my dog. If I saw the ball bouncing, I was like, "Good luck to you, mate. You're not getting anywhere near it because the big fella's just gonna come and take the ball off you." You know what I mean? Like everybody had their part, and there was no standout. There was no world beaters in that squad.
Is it true that you could have followed my man Roy to Liverpool?
Yeah.
Stevie was trying to pattern that.
Yeah. So
man.
That European run. Obviously, after that, Roy goes to Liverpool. I'm in England squads, so games. I make a few debuts. Play my actual debut. I remember I played Stevie G. It was actually not too long. What are we now? Yeah, not too long ago because I saw it pop up on the England thing. Stevie G scores the winner against Hungary, and obviously I trained with Steven that week, and then we played the game. And after the game, we go up to the players' lounge and we're all in there. And then we go to leave. And as I'm leaving, I'm with my best pal, Luke. Steven Gerrard gets in the lift. So it's just us three in the lift. As we go down to the car park, as we go down, he goes, "Would you come to Liverpool, Bob?" And I'm like, "Yeah, mate. Yeah." And he's like, "Well done today." And I was like, and as the doors open and he walks out, my best mate looks at me and goes, like, you know what I mean? Stevie G is just give you a thumbs up here. Like, so I was like, wow. He said, I'll speak to Roy. And obviously they bid for me 10 million, same as Spurs as well. Harry Redknapp was there at Spurs and they both bid 10 mil for me. And literally I had my daughters and then it was like 2 weeks later, I think it was like really, really short amount of time, the bids come in and I'm like, oh man, like real good squad, European Cup final. Do you know what I mean? Like the team, everybody's happy where I was, and I just had my twins. Nobody up north in Liverpool. That's my only ever regret in football. Like genuinely my own. No, sorry, I have two, but that is one. That I didn't just go to Liverpool and sign 5 years there and listen, if nothing happens and I don't play any games,
Sorry, big man. Sorry, so you turned down...
Yeah, stupid.
But I didn't even know.
Yeah.
You would have been one of my idols, different from this. Like, you my guy, but playing for Liverpool makes you like my... I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, so Liverpool come in, Spurs come in.
Yeah. Oh. Both at the same time, 2010. And I say no, that's just down to the birth of my twins, really, and just like support network, my first kids, like everything, and like I say, that Fulham side was very special to me. Like we'd just been on a mad journey. I was doing well. I was in the England squads, so for myself, it was like I'm going to continue scoring goals here at Fulham. I know I am, and if I'm scoring goals, I'm going to be in the England squad. All right, might not be now, but I'll get another chance to get that step. That's what I thought.
That's how you planned in your head. Yeah.
I was 28 years of age, I think, something like that. So I thought to myself, I still got time to be able to do something. But like I said, in hindsight, if I could turn back time, that I only had 2 regrets in my whole career. That was one, and not going to the World Cup. Again, I had to turn down Fabio Capello, who's begging me to go to the World Cup.
We'll talk about your England thing. So, all right, so now Fulham, again, so you said when West Ham, when you had to go to Fulham, it was out of the blue. How did the move from Fulham to QPR come about?
Obviously, Martin Yole I had Roy Hodgson, class. He went to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We then had Mark Hughes come in. Different, like, forward thinking in terms of, like, training grads. He come from Man City, training grads. Everything has to be spot on. Analysis, recovery, all of that, which was class. It was like, okay, for us, like, brilliant, super. He wanted to make the training ground better. He wanted to make everything better. And we had that first season. Loved Mark, loved Eddie and Bose, his assistants. Great, real good. Like Mousa had come into the tide, like a real good squad. Amazing. So we have that season. Actually, I break my leg. I break my leg at the start of that season. So literally, I say no to Liverpool, sign a new deal at Fulham. The next day, I break my leg. Like I fly on the Friday, break my leg on the Saturday.
Oh,
so I miss half of that season.
Okay.
Half of that season anyway.
Yeah.
But still love the place. Great. Good banter with the team and everything.
Culture.
So
it's good
I just remember one story that I was at Fulham and I'm coming back from injury and the team are doing okay, struggling a little bit. And I remember like going out to do my stuff on the grass on the pitch next to them. And as I'm walking past the team and they're doing their bits, I'm like, Gaffer, don't worry, man. I'll be back in a couple of weeks. We get 3 points then. Like, just roaring and shouting. That's the sort of guy I was at.
I can see you.
And the manager laughing and enjoying.
Is that you?
Yeah. He was good.
Did have a good sense of humour,
yeah? Yeah. He was good. So like, it was a real good time, and just Mark was brilliant. Just at the end of that season, I don't know. I've never really spoken to Mark about it, but my understanding was he was promised X, Y, and Z, whether it be analysis or investment or whatever, and it didn't happen. And Martin Yole came in to the side. I wasn't there for the first 2 days of pre-season. I was away. I got married that summer, so I was away. I missed it. But his first meeting in at the club was what put my nose out of place, really. Like his first meeting with all of the boys. I mean, I'm in the Maldives on my honeymoon. And I get a phone call from like 3 of the boys like, hey, you should have heard this meeting, man. Like, obviously, like I say to you, we were a tight group of set of lads. No one player, no one stand-up, no one. And his first meeting goes along the lines of, yes, boys, welcome. Some of you know me, some of you don't. And I'm guessing he was trying to be funny, but he just went down like a sack of shit. Do you know what I mean? Like his lines were, yeah, some of you know me, some of you don't. I had Danny Murphy at Spurs. He never played for me because I had better players like Michael Carrick.
What?
Like,
wait, what?
Yeah. Then he goes on to say, yeah, Simon Davis I had at Spurs as well. Didn't play for me. He's always injured. Like, then we have Stephen Kelly. Yeah, I had him at Spurs as well. He plays like he has clogs on. So, like, he's already like shot down three of our main.
Yeah.
And like, listen, I wasn't there, so I can't say. But for the boys to phone me and say, like, put my nose out, blah, blah, it's like you slapping my child, man. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to take a hell of a lot to. And I wasn't there, and I just went in with an opinion of Martin, I think. And then when I got on the pitch, like for those 2 seasons previously, my role had changed. Give me the ball on the edge of the box. No one's getting it off for me. And I'm setting people to score, or I'm going to roll, or I'm going to do my part that I've done for 2 years consistently well. And we've thrived from it as a team. He comes in, he's like, look, I know you can do that part, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to be in the hole, in the pocket, come short and turn on the ball and drive. And I was like, but that's not getting the best out of me. And I'd have discussions with him about it. And I wasn't one to really have discussions with managers. Yeah. But I was like, you're taking away.
You're of 8, so how old are you at this time now?
28, 29,
so
probably.
Now you're
29, maybe.
You're so comfortable
30.
in who you are.
Yeah, 30, yeah. Listen, you're taking my superpower away.
Yeah.
And listen, I was capable of doing that, going into the hole, because I had good feet. Both feet could play balls, but that wasn't my superpower. My superpower, and the team's superpower, I think, was me being on the edge of that box, playing that ball.
Right. And proof was in the pudding for the last couple of seasons. So yeah, I get that.
And he asked me to change the way that I play. Not that I said no, but you're not getting the best out of me. And I don't think I did it in some games because I did what
what you
reverted to do. And we didn't sit. He'd call me in the office afterwards and go like, "I told you to do that," and I was like, "All right, well, show me the clips then." And I'd do the clip. He'd show the clips, and me on the edge of the box setting someone to shoot. And I go, "Well, what's wrong with that?"
Yeah.
Like, and we just didn't see eye to eye. So January, like I had half the season with him, and yeah, just it wasn't a nice place. Gutted because, like I say again, another place that I absolutely loved. But we just didn't see eye to eye and ended up going to QPR.
You're very much a changing room person. Like and the reason why I'd always stand 10 toes on the changing room, because that's the 11, 16, 18 that we're going to go to war for. People outside don't know how somebody can lose a changing room.
Yeah. But listen, we started off on the wrong foot, and then it continued in terms of, listen, I need you to change the way. I need to take your superpower away and give it to somebody else. I don't want you to do that. Which just made it worse. If it had come and it had been like, listen, just keep doing what you do on the edge of the box. Then it wouldn't have been like that. It's just we just genuinely didn't see eye to eye.
Domino effect. So then QPR. So then that was from Fulham to QPR.
Yeah, Fulham to QPR.
You were London brother.
I didn't want to go north. You know, say it's grim up north.
So no, I don't think I'm a London brother as well. All right. So was there any at this point? So was there any mindset like, oh wow, QPR, Fulham could be rivals? It was none of them things. You're just like, listen.
Nah, not rivals. It was like, I wasn't playing at QPR. Like, I mean, at Fulham, and it was just not a nice place. So look, Mark Hughes had gone to QPR.
Oh, okay.
So he knew what I could do.
Yeah.
He knew what I was like in the changing room. He knew me. So he's like, I want that guy in and around me. So end up going to QPR, and it was a strange time now. Strange time. Mark, I loved. Again, the training ground and everything was not good. He wanted to change it. The food there wasn't good. Like, genuinely wasn't good. He wanted to change all of those bits and pieces, and that takes time. And he had a big budget, and we signed players that.
So the players there, Cisse, Loic Remy, Julia Cesar, Park. So there was the names in it. Do you know what I'm saying? So was it money orientated, culture unbalanced? You know what I'm saying? That's what outside looking in. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly that. Because you had the boys that had grafted for a number of years to get to the Premier League,
right.
that appreciated being in the Premier League, and then there were the guys that came in that were on the tail end of their career. That London, like Julio Cesar, playing for QPR. Like, okay, you're West London, like you're in, and you're. A lot of those guys, Bosinga won the Champions League the year before, and then was at QPR, like, and there was a resentment between the guys that had got them there and the attitude that was in training, because I would say those guys are just old school English working players.
Right.
Obviously, you had Forlan and Senrab and some real talent, and some good guys, but they'd been through that struggle as well.
Right.
And then you had the ones that were there and I don't think appreciated the work that those guys had done. So there was always a friction. Always. I mean, there was punch-ups. There was
it, yeah?
There was CS Gaspic, coming at cars and
swear down
bats and everything. So it was a tasty place from time to time. And to be honest, I was in the middle. Because I'd been there journeyman. So in terms of like Clint Hill and Jamie Mackey and all of those guys, he's done it. He knows what it's about. There's like, but I'd also come from years of Premier League football and good wages.
Well.
So like, I think there was a respect from both sides of those parties. Really.
Yeah.
So I almost sat in the middle at times.
And your character is, you know how to pluck for both sides.
I would get on with everyone, to be honest. So it was hard, but just the environment wasn't.
But because I always like good punch-ups, because EFL punch-ups are constant. The maddest thing is, sometimes when I see interviews and the Prem man say punch-ups and everybody goes, oh, snap. In mind, I'm like, brother, we EFL, but we punch up constantly. Then we hug and we go about our business. So what punch-up stands out? Like, what fight would you be like?
There was Clint Hill and Ahmed Traore, or Clint Hill and Gibril Cisse.
Oh, who won? Hill must have won. Nah?
Yeah,
Oh,
Hilly
so-
loves throwing it, but there was obviously like, then there was like on that side there's like Sean Derry, Joey Barton,
Oh,
Jamie
them.
Mackey, like
Yeah, Barton, idiot.
and then Cisse and Traore and
Well, that three must have punched up that three, though.
what three?
That three must have punched. No?
No.
No?
It was pretty even. It was yeah.
Oh, say no.
Yeah, like it was entertaining. Let's just put it that way. All the time. And you know when the tension's up and like you training ground and the five-a-sides, here you go.
How did Hughes deal with that? How did Mark Hughes deal with that? Was he a good man for that? Was he, is he a disciplinarian or was he? Well,
yeah, he would be, but just listen, you can't do it. You can't stop it when the results ain't going well and it's tough. And it's tough on a Saturday. Then you come into the training ground and the frustrations there. And like I say, those elements of those guys have got them now, and these guys are coming and just enjoying the atmosphere. I suppose it's hard. It's not something you can easily sort.
Yeah. So how much did the Premier League change? So now you've been Premier League. So now you're at QPR. How was the Premier League for you at that point?
Yeah, frustrating again because the squad was good. The players on paper were good. But the attitudes were not.
Right.
So for me, it was frustrating that we shouldn't been. I mean, that first season, I'll go there in January, and we stay up. The first season, I think it's that Man City game where they win the league, and we
the
stay
Aguero.
up. Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's the first. Yeah, it is the first one. Yeah, it was. So that day was mental. Like obviously we need a result to stay up, or we if it stays as it is, then we're okay. But obviously you don't want to leave it to that. So we play that Man City game. They obviously need to win. Man United playing away, and we need something. They need something, and the tensions are high. We go ahead, and then we go. They 1-1, then 2-1. I think it was to us, and they score. They equalise. And I'm off the pitch at that stage.
Yeah, we had Jay Bufferaid on.
Yeah.
Jay was telling us, so he was on, he said he knew when they were safe, or when you guys were safe, and then said Joey Barton was doing stupid stuff as he does. You know what I'm saying?
But I genuinely think that if we needed to, or we knew that we were safe.
Okay.
I genuinely think that if we still needed to, they wouldn't have scored. I really, really think that.
Is that because on the flip side, so Jay's on it was like everybody saying that it was rigged, rah. He's like, no man, they genuinely defenders were going for it, rah. So you're like, listen, if you needed to win, you
not win, but that they needed to
they needed to win.
Right. And it was 2-2 at the time, I think, and it was the last 2 minutes. Obviously, we know that we're safe.
Right.
I'm on the touchline. I'm shouting to whoever it was, the winger there. Yeah, we're safe. It gets across in the last 30 seconds, 40 seconds that we're safe. And I think if that wasn't the case, I do think that different decisions on the ball, different decisions at tackles would have been made, or a foul would have been made. I think that. Because I would have played the game anyway. I would have fouled on halfway line. I would have stopped. But listen, it goes on, and Aguero scores.
That moment, talk to me. So that's an iconic moment. What was it like? I mean, on both sides, innit? But what was that like?
It was a strange atmosphere because obviously both sets of fans are going mad. Their first time winning the Premier League. We have stayed up last kick of the game. Do you know what I mean? Or last couple of minutes, last game of the season. So it was a mad vibe. And I remember going back into the changing room afterwards, and Vincent Kompany coming in, crying, shaking everyone's hand. And I'm thinking to that, obviously he knows Husey, he knows Nedum, he knows Dunnet, a few boys, shaking everyone's hand, but he's bawling because he obviously won the Premier League. It goes round, and we get off, and we're all on the coach, and I'm sat on the coach, and I'm like, everyone's here. Where's manager, man? And this stuff. I'm like, nah. If we don't get out of here soon, we're not getting home till, because when the fans go out, roads are shut. And no coach.
Yeah.
So I run off the coach, run into the changing room, like, kick the door down. Hey, Gavin, come on, man. What are you doing? We got to get out of here before they get on the road. And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry, man. He's with like a few people. So I'm like, yeah, come on, let's hurry up. I'm almost packing his bag for him. Get out. So he gets out, he jumps on the coach, and then off we go. We beat the masses.
All right, so QPR, to be fair, everywhere you've gone, like, you've made impacts in its moments. So let's talk about the championship, playoff final, QPR. Let's just flex. You scored a winner again. Talk me through that.
We're playing Derby County.
Cool. So you playing
Steve
Derby.
McLaren was the manager. He was with us previously under Harry Redknapp. So he was one of the coaches. Fantastic, great coach, great footballing coach. And Derby were a real good side in the championship. Like,
let me ask this question. Don't know if it happened here, right? When we play against the former team, we'll go to our players, yo, Bada, I need to score against this manager. Bada, we know that, right? So who's the manager?
Harry Redknapp.
Did Harry Redknapp even say to you, man, hey, listen, I can't even allow McLaren to get the best out of me, fellas. All right, so if you lot win, so was there any bad? Because you must have dropped banner like that on them, like.
Nah, not really. Obviously, we knew that Steve, and we knew the style of play that he's a lovely guy, real nice guy, great energy. So there's no bad blood. Nobody had any bad blood with him. So, but yes, of course, we knew what he was all about, and we didn't. We didn't want to lose. One, it's a final, and two, you don't want him to win. So there was a little something said, but not really over pushed on him. I think because he's such a nice guy.
Right. Okay. Really. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. So how's it go? So final says who's favourites at that? So QPR, Derby, who's favourite?
We probably have the best team on paper.
Right.
They have the best record and the style of play that they play.
Yeah.
We have a good team, and we sort of come together at the back end of the season really for that playoff run and the playoffs. I play in the playoff semi-finals and play well.
Right.
So again, a bit of a shock not to be starting.
Okay.
But okay, fine, not a problem. I'll bide my time.
Say nothing. Me similar, because I started in any of our playoffs. Any playoff final, I didn't start in. I just want to throw that out there.
Is that because they're scared of the size of Wembley and you and your distance covered?
What are you trying to say, brother? I was bare fit, brother. Yeah, I think
that might come.
That made me play the hell apart.
If it was a small pitch, then they go, yeah, big man's classier. He can cover half the pitch with 3 steps.
I ain't gonna lie, because I remember walking at Wembley, and how I judge it is corner flag to corner flag, isn't it? So I'm like, oh shit, it's a big ass pitch.
It's huge.
Ooh.
And that time of year is always sunny. You're guaranteed a bit of sunshine on that day.
Yeah.
So I think that may have played into the decision making.
I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
But yeah, listen, I was a bit disappointed not to be starting. But again, listen, fine. I'll bide my time. Charlie Austin up front, runs around, always has scored goals that season for us, and he's done a great job. Good. I loved playing with Charlie. But we're under the cosh against them. Like literally, they are playing football. I think they go through, and Gary O'Neill takes out, I don't even know who it was, takes one of the players out, red card. So we're down to 10 men. Now, we have got Richard Dunn, Neda Manua, Armand Traore, and I think Clint Hill, I think may have played right back, or I can't remember who the right back was. Anyway, back four, it's going to be tough. 2 centre-halves, Nedum and Dunny. They'll put everything out on the pitch. So for me, I'm like, right, if we can keep it tight, if they want to cross balls, fine, because they ain't going to win anything against those absolute beasts. And we just weather that storm. We just keep weathering that storm, really. They are constantly knocking at the door. Greeny plays, Rob Green in goal, has a great game. We're running that clock down, and to be honest, we're probably like, look, extra time, penalties, if we can even get that far. Right. If we can even get that far. But I remember the manager saying, look, come on, you're getting on. So I go down to the touchline, and he says, listen, try and shore things up, but let's get us a goal. And I'm thinking to myself, well, we ain't even had a shot. We haven't had a shot yet, but yeah, okay, whatever. And you know how the game goes. Hot day, big pitch, everyone's getting tired. Even if you've got 11 men, the amount of distance and the intensity that you're trying to perform at. I come on those last 15 minutes. I'm running around. I'm trying to press. Okay, no, all right, we're drop back. We're sharp. We're just weathering the storm, and I'm fresh legs, so I'm thinking I have to run around. I have to be that player that smashes or
Nasty
makes
feeling,
it hard.
but yeah.
So I'm doing that, and we win a throw in, and the ball. I'm celebrating the throw in almost. With the fans in the corner, like, yeah, come on, just smash somebody. The ball goes out to throw, and it goes down to Junior Hoylett on the side, and it's the wrong side of him. It's defender's side. Junior just gets his body in there, and I'm actually thinking, as the ball goes down the side, you can see me when I've watched it back. I'm like, I'm far out the box, diagonal, and as he barges and he gets to the right side, I go, oh, okay, I can get in the box here, but the distance is so far that I sprint, and I think to myself, well, there's no point getting up near the centre half because it's a fight then. If I drop, then maybe he finds me. He's head down, whatever, maybe it comes. But I remember thinking, I can't get there, or there's no point me being there, so let me just hold back a bit. As the ball comes across, he mishits the clearance, and it just drops to my left foot here. And I just, no time to think, one step, bang. And it's one of those finishes as a striker. For me, I couldn't have picked a better angle for that ball to drop. The goal there, side netting screaming at me, just left foot. I'll put everything on my left foot on this type of finish, just a curl, just a push
A punch
into that side netting. And as it drops, I'm just like, bang, no time to think. And it's one of those things that as a striker, I have hit hundreds of thousands of those shots in training. And it just muscle memory, bang, bang, your body shape, it's crazy. And there's an image of the West Ham playoff final goal and the QPR final goal. Different finishes, one from a cross and one from a clearance, but the body shape is exactly the same. And it's the same left foot. And when you put them over each other, it's the same image,
Yeah.
And that's like Bexy's free kick. It's like those guys that do
repetition.
And it gets to me now that strikers don't do. I'm at Brighton.
Right.
Sorry, I'm going off tangent here. But I'm at Brighton, and I'm with the strikers, or trying to help the strikers, and it's hard because there's so much data, so much within sports science now that they can't do too much more. Do you know what I mean? It's hard, and they want to do a little bit more, but sports science, and you don't. I certainly don't want to be the reason somebody's picked up an injury. Anyway, you know what I mean?
100%. So
it's really hard. But I just think to myself, after training, I used to just get a bag of balls, or from not every single day, but there'll be times where, okay, bam, 10 balls, 15 balls, 20 balls, bam. And I think to myself, like Frank Lampard, David Beckham, all of those guys, they did that little bit extra after for those reasons, and it tells for sure. And I think that finish for me was me hitting, I don't know how many balls over my career, left-footed, bang, side finish, side foot, bang, bam, bam. So
that moment, it hit the back of the net, right? It's Wembley, and the maddest thing is, isn't it? Because the thought process is, if we can hang on here, anything can happen in penalties. That's the thought process. Don't think about, but in the back of your mind as a striker, you're like, but if I get a set piece, I could.
Yeah.
That's how we think, innit? So it hits the back of the net. So the game's won. What's that? Just that bit.
I kid you not. As I'm running off, I bang it, I turn, I run towards the fans. Rubbish celebration. But I'm running towards the fans, and I swear to God, all I'm thinking is, it's 89 minutes, right? We hold out a couple more minutes and we ain't got to do extra time. That's all that's going in my head. Not, it's literally, I don't want to run around.
I don't want to run anymore.
Because if it's 30 minutes, they are scoring.
They
are scoring with another 30 minutes. Pretty much like me at Juve. I wanted extra time. They wanted extra time. And the ball goes, and nothing else other than, we don't have to do extra time. That's all I'm thinking. And then you know what it's like when you've just got that wind,
Yeah.
boys, 5 minutes, dig in, we got this. And yeah, we weather it out and mate, yeah, just mad, crazy celebrations.
So I'm gonna ask, because you played against the companies, you played in that period. So we talked about football changing, and I'm genuinely, how would like a Bobby Z now deal with like a Virgil van Dijk in today's football? So now there's more 4-3-3s, so you're the centerpiece to bring. How would you think, and would football now suit you more now than what it was back in the day?
I think I'd have loved to. I think I'd have loved to have played now. Yeah, I think there are less long balls.
Right.
Although I like to
Back in,
hold the ball up, pin a man, great. But those balls are still coming into the front man, or that the option to go into that front man from that final third. Those balls along the floor into the front man's feet. And like I said, I'm at Brighton a couple of days a week now, and I'm speaking to Danny and I'm speaking to Jorginho, and I'm saying really like the difference between receiving the ball on the outside of the box and when you take that step inside of the box and what defenders can and cannot do.
Right.
It's like, it's massive. They can't touch you inside the box. That's a penalty. Outside the box, okay, they might want to get close. You're still on the edge of the box and a free kick, but that's a dangerous zone to be trying to make a tackle, regardless whether you're on the edge of the box or inside. You're finished. It's a stupid decision. So I would love to be receiving balls. They're not long balls. They're not taking long amounts of time. Those are balls that are punched into you when you're in a bit of space. I would have thrived off of that, I think, and in certain sides. So I'd have loved to be playing there.
So as a striker, when you look at, like, let's use a Van Dijk. So where would you kind of rate a Van Dijk in regards to the defenders you played in your era to kind of the Van Dijk and what he's playing now?
Virgil's obviously elite, and if you're putting him up against elite, listen, there's not a vast amount of difference between them. He's big, he's strong, he reads the game, he's fast. But again, that's an elite, that's an ultra elite. That's one of 5 in the world.
Right.
So he can still play. Back when I played against him when he was at Southampton, though, to be honest. But the likes of John Terry, Carvalho, Rio, Vidic, Campbell, those big, strong defenders who could understand and read the game. Listen, they could all still do everything that they could do then in today's game with ease. They're just the elites.
Yeah. So and of course the arguments and what we chat to Lescott in regards is the fact that there was more like you. You know what I'm saying? So if we used to put you in today's market or today's game in the Premier League, and this is not blind smoke up your ass or anything, but your mold, what comes to mind now would probably be maybe a Haaland and a Woods, maybe. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe a bit Antonio and Callum Wilson, slightly, but there's not. So that's 4. I think we've already mentioned 4 in one game who played for Fulham, your Fulham time, you know what I'm saying, or your West Ham side. So I think that they talk in regards to the amount of strikers those defenders had to deal with, whereas the likes now is similar. And do you have that same, be like, all right, cool, now a Van Dijk would have to deal with you once every 10, 15 games?
Yeah, it's a different challenge that they come up against now, for sure. Yeah, it's a different challenge. Even the case of, 2 strikers up there.
Right.
Doesn't happen very often. There's 1 striker up there and those 10s are in and around. So it's a different game that they have to come up against. But if it goes in circles, and I think those big, strong target men, I don't care who you are as a defender, you don't want to come up against anyone that can bully you. You don't want, and same as a striker, you don't want to come up against anyone that's going to push you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember playing against Jamie Carragher. I used to love playing against Jamie. I used to love playing against Ledley King. I don't know why. Listen, I would always just get the better of them, or they just couldn't deal with the style of play that I had. And those 2 are elite defenders. Like Jamie, I know that Jamie said, like, one of my toughest ones. Yeah, okay, you've got your own reason. The one that's outside the box is me. It's like, didn't want to. You know, he got sent off against me pulling a shirt. Like, I'm his yin to his yang. You know what I mean? I just didn't.
No, don't get it twisted. I hear it, man. Styles make anything. You know what I'm saying? And it was the same. And I'm just talking about from my level. It was, I like both of them. Ledley and Carragher seem like, and forget egos, but their strengths is to kind of get tight and to rough, whereas their strengths comes against your strengths, but your strengths is bigger in that situation. Yeah. So I totally, and it's just sometimes there's just certain people that you enjoy playing against, elite or they just can't deal with it. But is it true you almost didn't play for England because you was going to play for Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah, so my dad's from Trinidad and Tobago, and when I was my first stint at Brighton, 19 years of age, obviously scoring goals, Dwight York was Trinidad's number one, the main guy, and they obviously knew that I was from Trinidad, or the information was there, so they touched base. My cousin Ronnie Moshe was from Trinidad. He played for Trinidad as well. He touched base, like, hey, you're gonna come and play, cuz, or what? Like, so I was like, yeah, it'd be nice to play. At 19, I wasn't really thinking anything. Yeah. And I was scoring goals, and it was at the same time that Peter Taylor took over at England.
Okay.
Peter's got affiliation with the under-21s and the seniors. And like I said, he knew that I had something. And I remember him saying there was a friendly that I was going to go to, I think in Miami, for Trinidad and Tobago. And we were obviously looking at the fixtures and the time and the travelling and all of that and coming back and playing. He was like, look, it's a friendly. Do you really want to go? You can go, listen, completely. He said, but listen, you'll play for England. Yeah? Don't forget that. So I was like, shit. I remember thinking, wow, man, do I really want to put all my eggs in that basket over there? You're still very young. No disrespect, but I think if you keep scoring goals, you'll always have Trinidad to fall back on. So is there a need to go and do it right now? And obviously, for me, I wanted to be with the elite. I wanted to play at the very, very top. So I made the decision, and the under-21s came calling as well. So I went and played for the under-21s.
So then talk me through the call up. So just the lead, is it the text message? Is it the call? Is the car comes pick you up? What was that? And also that, and I know you had the under-21s training, but what was that training with England for the first time?
Oh, that was special, man. Like going into that squad, like I say, the first time. And do you know what? I got a mad message from Teddy Sheringham when I first got in the England squad. I was at Fulham then. Ted was maybe at West Ham or retired. Don't know. I think he might have just retired. And I remember getting a message from Teddy Sheringham saying, like, listen, I know you're going to be going to meet up with England and you may be nervous, but I just want to let you know, you'll know after your first training session that you belong now. For me, I was like, I nearly cried.
Sick message.
Mate, I had it on my phone, and you know how you change phones now. I don't know where that message is, but it was a long old message, man. And I remember thinking, I ain't spoken to Teddy for, like a little hi, how are you, or bump into him, but I hadn't spoken to him. For him to send a big old message, I was from Teddy Sheringham, from me, I'd learned a lot from as well.
Yeah. Legend in the game, man.
I was like, wow, that's incredible. But yeah, getting in with that squad, having that first keep ball session, having those first sessions, and you know what? Like, honestly, mate, I remember we played like a 7v7 or 5, like 3 teams of, I think it must have been 7, and getting the ball out wide, cutting inside and banging it with my left foot. And then obviously turning round, but still being on the same side, cutting inside my right foot and banging it. Same goal, but on my right foot and left foot. I remember thinking to myself, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
And that everything was filmed, right? Like all those things are filmed. And in this day and age, there would have been clips of that. You know what I mean? Said, do you want to, the mindset was this day and now. I don't think I had Instagram or no social media back then. I don't even think so. If it was just me and 5 people that I knew. And Roy Hodgson was England manager, and the sports the analysis that was at Fulham as well was there. I remember afterwards phoning him, mate, Scold, please tell me you can dig this out. Please tell me you can dig my first week's training with because I was good. I was good, right? And like you said, Stevie G in the lift afterwards, like he must have been impressed enough in training to say, okay, this guy can do a little bit. Couldn't get the footage. Man. Honestly, like I just wanted that 5-0, right, bam, bam, left, bang, right foot, bam, bam, bang. Like I just wanted it. Like, and listen, all the other players there, they probably don't remember what I was doing, but I do.
But you remember,
because it was my first week, and I scored goals. I was like, you know what I mean? I've done a little bit.
Oh, there's a picture there. So look at
Stevie G.
Stevie G, Wayne Rooney. Who other than I know? Look, you've already said about Stevie G. Who else had the aura? Like,
the thing that stood out for me in those international camps is how hard everybody shoots. Like when I say they hit the ball hard, I wasn't a ball smasher. Not really. I was more in a caress. I think that's because I could have gone. If it's a bad situation, people maybe fire through it with power. Whereas I put it on the wrong foot because I don't have one. Okay, bang. But do you know what I mean? Like, okay, I can shift it into that, so I don't rely on the powered blast. I can cut back in and do that. But how hard everybody hit balls when they're shooting, that was the standout thing. And Stevie G was a standout player in there. Like, you know when it's keep ball and balls are zinging across, and you know when you do a daisy cut and you zing it that high off the deck. Stevie G would I remember him playing 1 or 2 balls zinged through like a gap like that, and I remember thinking, wow, like, okay, you've done 2, like that's your 2 out of 10, but you've hit them back to back. But every other ball was that, and I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, like that's level. That high off the floor, smashed into people in a 10v10 keep ball box that you don't want to give the ball away. Like, my mind says, don't give the ball away in this group of players. Don't be that one player that everyone goes, shit, he's give 3 around the bounce now. Like, he's rubbish. That's my mindset. And this guy is absolutely levering the ball through gaps that I don't even know. There must have been like centimetres each side of people dangling foot. So, I mean, that was when I was like, wow, he's
special. To be fair, even that, I remember, when you're playing with this, the way they wrap it in. When you say you can just hear and feel the way the ball's either hitting the back of the net or the keeper has to say, the power in that. So that's levels where like everybody's hitting it with ferocity.
That's the standout thing.
That's the standout thing from it. All right, so you make your debut against Hungary, and then you get called up. Your second one's against Sweden?
Yeah, Sweden at Wembley again. Zlatan, that's a start.
Well, that weren't when Zlatan did that bicycle kick.
Yeah, it was,
Ooh.
Yeah, at Wembley. So those are the 2 starts. Those are the 2 starts I had for England. Was in a lot of squads before and squads after. But for me, the like I said, I only had 2 regrets. One was not signing for Liverpool, and the other was not going to the World Cup. Really,
what happened? Talk to us for that.
So Fabio Capello was obviously manager of the team, and that European run, obviously we played Roma and we played Juve, and our obviously Italian sides in London. He came to watch the games, not necessarily for me, but both games were standout Zamora performances. So I think that certainly caught his eye whilst he was, no doubt looking after a good season I was having. And that European run and that season I had took it out on me physically in terms of my Achilles was screaming, absolutely screaming. The last probably 7-8 games of the season, which included the semi-final of the Europa and the final. I mean, the semi-final is the one where I don't know if you heard a story about Clint Dempsey smashing the window and cutting his whole hand up, because in the semi I wasn't going to play or start. I was just in agony. I had a fitness test just before, painkillers, injections, every sort of thing, and I said I was okay. Clint had been told he was going to start, And then manager called him, and once I said I was okay, and Demps put his hand through a window
Oh, yeah.
and cut all his hand open. So in that game, when he comes on, his hand's all taped up, and he had to have an operation afterwards. But Demps is the opposite of what I was in terms of calm. He was he was the whole world's good at. Demps is class, man.
Pure fire,
so I was really struggling with my Achilles. Had the final, and was penciled in to have an operation pretty much just after to get that all fixed. And Fabio Capello phones me and says, look, I know you're injured, or I know you're really struggling, but I still want to take you to the World Cup. So would you come? And I said, like, let me have a think about it, because in my mind, my Achilles is killing me. I'm in complete agony. I can't train. So if I go to the World Cup and I can't train, what am I doing? Are you actually even going to pick me? Listen, I'm probably, third, fourth striker there anyhow. But if I can't train, I'm thinking like, these boys, all these lads this guy's come, he's not even running around. And if I'm not running around, am I going to be picked? Are you actually going to pick somebody that hasn't run around? And I've got that to balance up, and I go in, get my operation done, and I'm good to go for the start of next season. So I'm thinking, I just want to be fit. 7-8 weeks of this has annoyed the life out of me.
Right.
Not being able to perform the way that I can. Europa League final, frustrated because I could play the first half in pain. Half time comes along, I'm not moving that second half. So I'm just in that scenario of, if I go, I'm not going to train. Everyone's going to be thinking, what's this guy doing? Are you even going to pick me? Is it going to be a waste of 3-4 weeks time, 4 weeks when I could be getting fit? So I picked that option. In hindsight, again, I wish I'd have just gone and experienced the World Cup. It was a crap World Cup for England anyway. South Africa, and they weren't great, but to be able to say I was at a World Cup would have been.
Was part of it that you get the op, get your foot right, in 4 years' time, you may be part of it again? Or was it just to the point where you was like, but that's now a bonus, I need to get right? Do you understand what I'm saying? At that point, it's the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just trying to figure out.
I didn't really think about the World Cup and the magnitude of it. Do you know what? It's literally when you're, I don't know whether you've seen it, but when I was in football, everything was normal. Everything was
just normalized, just normal. Yeah,
normal.
I know what you mean.
When you come out of it, I didn't realise how big the Premier League was. Listen, it's gone crazy now. It's gone, but I didn't realise how big the Premier League was, and I didn't realise everything. Like I say, everything's just normal. When you go to Anfield, normal. When you go to Man United, normal. When you go to all of these grounds, normal, because you've been there, you've seen it, it's fine. But when you've come away from it, you ain't getting that again. You can't just bowl up to a ground, root through the tunnel, get in the change room, walk out onto these iconic places.
It's funny you say that, because of course when you retire, you realise, even to the magnitude of your success and what you've done in the game, like when you're in it, you're just doing what you know what I'm saying? And of course, listen, we know there's levels and games and moments, but because you've gone through the process, so the man that stayed at Liverpool their whole career, haven't gone anywhere, and so to them, they're like, well, I was always at Anfield, so when I'm going to the new camp, it's like that. But because you went through the process of the Bristol Rovers, the Baths, then up to the Prem, to League One, then back to the Champ, then, so them ones where it's like, rah, the World Cup, wait, what? But I'm going to go and chill. But again, this is what I'm saying, what I got from you is that it was always football with you.
Yeah, I couldn't handle not being fit and the frustration. I think the semi-final and the final of those big games, European Cup final, and not being able to perform, and me thinking what people are thinking of me, like the performance that I put in the final was okay, but I wasn't at my best. And if I was at my best, I think it would have been a different game. So I think that played a big part in my decision as well. But like I say, in hindsight, I probably would have gone and just experienced being in a World Cup. You've been to a World Cup. It sounds mad, like, yeah. I didn't play, but I went there.
Yeah,
like, do you know what I mean?
Let me ask one question though. What's the difference or standout difference between international football and like Premier League football?
The training is intense. Like, everybody is so sharp. I think, like, for me, obviously I played against Hungary and I played against Sweden, and they were good sides, but you're in a better side. So it's like, you look around and I'm up front with Rooney, I've got Stevie G, like, you're a level above
Yeah.
70% of the sides that are out there. Do you know what I mean? Like, no disrespect, but the centre halves that are playing now for X, Y, and Z probably don't even play in the Premier League, and the Premier League's the elite. So, and you're up against that weekly. So ultimately, you're at another level to them anyway. But for me, it's when you come and train with everybody that's on that elite. Yeah. That's when that's wow.
So Stevie G's that Stevie G's the one that was.
He's the standout for me.
He was the standout.
He's the standout for me. Yeah.
So there was a few full circle moments, and we'll wrap this up. There's full circles. One was West Ham, and then finishing your career at Brighton. Was that like not something you had in the back of your mind, or was that just a nice way to kind of round it up?
That was a dream, really. Like, at QPR, I'd left, and I was on holiday, and I didn't know. Yeah, I felt okay. My hip wasn't great, but I felt okay. Maybe another season. Don't know where it's going to come from. And then my old teammate, who I played with first time round at Brighton, Nathan Jones, was assistant manager under Chris Hughton. And he phones me and said, like, "How are you, mate? Is your body okay? Would you come back? Wages ain't going to be great, but would you come back?" And for me, I was like, wow, yes, all day long. Like, I still spoke to them, still spoke to the people at the club, and, somewhere that I loved. Would you come back? I was like, yeah. For me, in my mind, it was promoted Division 2 to Division 1, promoted Division 1 to Championship. I needed Championship to Prem for completed.
Yeah. For the tick.
Job done everything I can for the club. And I go back with that whole intention of, can I get Brighton promoted to the Premier League and get a hat-trick? My hip doesn't allow me to do that, really, in Feb. It was a little bit too much for me. I needed an operation, really, and we end up missing out on goal difference for automatic promotion.
Mate.
And I know that if I was fit, goal difference wouldn't have been an issue. I know that sounds mad, man, but I just feel that I would have scored. Like, I don't know what my I think I got like 11 goals from 14 starts, I think.
Right.
In that, and I was like struggling. I came on quite a few times as well. Scored a lot of winners as it goes, as a sub, coming on and scoring winners. But I just feel, and I'm gutted, really, because I was so close to something that I really, really wanted to do, and just slipped away from me. And the playoffs wasn't great for the team, but they ended up going up the following season, which is great. But unfortunately, I wasn't a part of that.
All right, listen, brother. I actually knew I'd be intrigued. Thanks for your time. And I'm saying, I know you're out of the game now, but take a moment. What you did, listen, the process, you went from League 2 to then the Premier League being your home, England call-ups. Brother, certified. Thanks for your time. Blessings on blessings.